What's up, everybody? This is Jam here on Approach the Nerd, and on today's episode, we'll be highlighting what is it? Carry on my wayward son. Supernatural, of course, duh, because when you think of Kansas, you think of Supernatural, obviously. So I'm going to highlight season one. Synopsisize season one. Is synopsisize a word? Who freaking knows? But I made it up, so it's going to be a word today. Okay, so my initial uh, intro to Supernatural is this, and it pretty much wraps up the entirety of the season. Dean! Sam! Dean! Sammy! And a bunch of son of a bitch. And that's pretty much the entire season of Supernatural. So when we initially see the Winchesters, the show is pretty much about these two brothers saving people, hunting things, the family business. I don't know if I'm actually qualified to talk about this, but when we first see the Winchesters in episode one, very first episode, stuff kind of pops off. So you think it's all nice. You see the Winchesters, ooh, lovely Mary, John family. They have 2 kids. Oh my gosh, living the American dream. And then all of a sudden, bam, Mary is attacked. She goes to check on little Sammy. He's like 1 in this episode, and it's 22 years ago. So she goes in, checks on Sam because he's crying like a little baby that he is. And then she's like, okay, my husband's in there. Don't worry about it. She goes downstairs. She sees her husband is sitting on the couch. And then she's like, oh no, Sammy! Told you. Told you it's going to be a bunch of Sams and Deans yelling at each other. So she goes up, and all of a sudden, nothing. You don't hear anything from her except a scream. John wakes up from his chair downstairs because he was a hard working father. He works hard. He does stuff, and he's just sitting on the couch. Sometimes he want to come home and chill every now and again. What's up with that? So he runs upstairs to go save his wife and see what the problem is. He's like, oh, she's not up here, which is weird because he looks down at the crib. It's like, oh, my wife was just screaming. I guess she's not here. Whatever. How you doing, Sammy? And then he starts seeing the blood drip on Sammy's head. Little baby Sammy blood. He's just sitting there like, yeah, yes. Give it to me. And looks up. Mary! No! Mary's is attached to the ceiling. Mary's, plural? Mary is attached to the ceiling, and she's just laying there. And this is a scene that replays over and over and over again, throughout the series. If you're a Supernatural fan, you've probably seen this, hundreds of times. And then she bursts into flames. There was no, initial screaming, so I don't know what was up with that. She was just on the ceiling she didn't make a noise, but that's how I interpret that. I would scream if I was on the ceiling and then I burst into flames. I'm just saying. So he, tries to save her. He can't because 1, he can't get her down from the ceiling, and 2, she's on fire. He gets the baby. He tells Dean, run outside and take your brother, go outside. Now, Dean, go. So little Dean, he's about 4 years old at this point. He goes save his brother, and that's it. House explodes. Boom. And then that's episode 1. But 22 years later, Sam is in college. He's living his life, doing his thing. He has an interview with the law school because he wants to be a lawyer and do good, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And Dean comes, and he's just like, first off, he breaks and enters into their apartment, which is not a good thing for you to do. They have a whole battle because it's dark in there, and Sam doesn't know what's going on, so they're just like, pow, 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 fighting things, karate chops. And then, Sam's like, oh my gosh, Dean, what are you doing here? He's like, we need to talk about Dad. It's like, Dad's on a hunting trip, and he hasn't been here in a few days. And he's just like, Jessica, which is Sam's girlfriend, Jessica, you need to leave us. That's my impression of Sam. Jessica, you need to leave And so Dean is basically recruiting Sam to help him find their father who's been missing forever. So the entirety of the season is them, like I said, saving people, hunting things. They fight ghosts. They fight Bloody Mary. They fight Wendigos, which are like crazy, like people, but they're not people, but they eat people because they get their power from eating people. Crazy stuff. All kinds of monsters and demons. No aliens, but that will come later on. Shh. Pretend like I didn't say that. No spoilers. Even though this whole thing's a spoiler. Anyway, so we see them, just fighting things, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, they go in one episode and they split up because all of a sudden, Sam's upset because their father called and he's just like, you can't see me anymore. It's too dangerous. But you have a job to do, so you do your job. And Dean's all like, yes, father, because I'm a good little boy. But Sam's like, I don't understand the blind faith you have in this man. He's never around us. Okay? Okay. So they split up. They're going to, Sam leaves to go to California to try to find the dad. And Dean takes their father's notebook and takes his little coordinates or whatever that he has for him, and he just sends him on his way. They're hunting a scarecrow in Indiana. A scarecrow is more like a god. They're townspeople and they're feeding people to this god because they want apples and they have great apple pie. What kind of BS is that? Oh my gosh, we're just famous for our apple pies, but these little sacrifices every year, it's worth it. It's worth it. We make good apples here. Dumb. Like, after that, after the breakup, because let's be honest, they broke up. Sam meets a woman named Meg, and she's all like, yeah, I'm hitchhiking and I'm on my way to California too because I left my parents because they wanted me to be something that I didn't want to be. And Sam was like, no stuff. Me too. Oh my gosh. And so Dean's out hunting this scarecrow demon, whatever, and Sam gets worried because Dean hasn't answered his phone in like 3 hours. Oh my gosh, talk about red flags. So it's a good thing he went because Dean was actually tied to a tree and about to get sacrificed with some other girl. And not that Dean's a girl, some other girl implies that he is also a girl, but some chick. And Sam comes along and is like, yeah, I saved you from this. You actually needed my help. You haven't been answering your phone. But Meg was all like, Sam, why are you going back to him? Didn't you guys break up? Oh my gosh, come with me to California. And he's like, no, I gotta go see my brother because he ain't answered the phone in like 3 hours. So Sam ends up saving Dean, and everything is just so nice, and they're still hunting things and trying to find their dad, and all of a sudden their dad shows up. Oh my gosh, he was just saying that it's too dangerous for them to be together. What? Scandalous. So after he shows up, which he's basically there for not his sons, but for his friend that was murdered, he goes and he finds these vampires and basically gets revenge for them killing his friend. And these vampires have a very super special, awesome, demon killing, everything killing gun that kills just about anything. Get the Colt, but oh my gosh, Meg wants the Colt because surprise, she is a demon and she's been like killing people and trying to get their attention so she can get to Sam. So what ends up happening is they barter. John, the dad, barters for the Colt, and the sons are like, Dad, are you really going to give her the gun? And he's like, I got this. Don't worry about me. I can handle mine. So he meets Meg to give her the Colt, but surprise, it's a fake gun. Who would have seen that coming? And so she takes off with John, and the boys have to go rescue him. So the boys, pick up, recruit one of their father's longtime friend. This is where we see Bobby. He recruits Bobby, and they're like, we have to go save our dad. This demon has got him, and she is not a cool chick. And so they go and they go rescue their father, who is now what? Possessed. He's possessed with the same thing that killed their mother. Oh my gosh, so much drama in this first season of Supernatural. It is great. So Sam has a choice to make. Their father is possessed, and he has the gun. The dad wants Sam to shoot him and kill him so he can kill him and the demon at the same time. But Sam's like, I can't kill your dad. And he shoots him in like the leg. And the demon ends up escaping because, that's what demons do. If you shoot a person in the leg, that's not exactly a fatal wound. And the dad gets really upset. It's like, we could have had him. Oh my God, that was a stupid move. Which, I saved your life. You might want to get up off my back about it. So, at the end of it all, they take their dad, Sam and Dean, take John to the hospital. They're rushing him to the hospital. And in the end, something magical happens. Bam! Truck smashes to the car. And Dean's like, Dad? Sam? Cliffhanger. And that's the end of season 1. If I forgot anything, there are quite a few episodes that I actually really enjoyed. There's an episode with this team called the Ghost Facers, which is a ragtag team of like wannabe ghost hunters, and that is amazing. They hunt down this ghost who's not really a ghost, but it's a manifestation of ghosts, and they just get on Sam and Dean's nerves the entire time, and it is amazing. But that's pretty much wrapped up season 1 of Supernatural, and there's like a 30 million billion one seasons to go, because it was started on the WB in like 2005, and now they're in their ending season in 2020. So yeah, it is a little sad, but I feel like we're going to be doing more of these videos. I think we're going to be doing more of these videos to kind of wrap up the season as the season is ending. And if I forgot anything, if you have any favorite episodes of Supernatural, just put them in the comments below. If there was anything you felt like I should have highlighted, or if there was anything you just couldn't understand, or there was a major plot point that you couldn't quite grasp, tell us about it. And we'll be watching the comments for it. All right, and that is the end of this episode of Approach the Nerd. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell, ring-a-ling-ling-ling that bell for more notifications every time we make a video.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.